and welcome to your County Council meeting, in fact your annual County Council meeting. I'm sure you realise by now, but a fire drill is not due to take place this morning, but if you do hear the fire alarm, please evacuate the place as quickly and as orderly as possible. Now this time, for the first time for ages, I'm going to get the procedure right. Because I have got it wrong a few times, I'm going to ask if anybody wishes to not take part in prayers, if they'd like to leave now. And then I'm going to welcome, once again, back from being quite ill, the Reverend Coleridge. Graham. Thank you. Could you lead us in prayers, please?
I will. Yes.
And can we all stand?
The opening words from the book of Psalms. Happy are those who do not follow the advice of the wicked, or take the path that sinners tread, or sit in the seat of scoffers, but their delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law they meditate day and night. They are like trees planted by streams of water, which yield their fruit in its season, and their leaves do not wither. Eternal God, fountain source of all authority and wisdom, hear our prayer for all who govern. Give to Elizabeth, our Queen, grace as the symbol of loyalty and unity for all our peoples. Give to our county council wisdom and skill, imagination and energy, vision, understanding and integrity, that all may live in peace and happiness, truth and prosperity in our county. Through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Well, Graham, while you're still here, and I know it's not part of our agenda, I'm going to thank you for the 1 year that you've been coming here. And could I say that the chaplain does come every year. He doesn't get expenses, he doesn't get paid. They do it free, as we say. Can I thank you very, very much? I know you've been ill lately. We've had a not such a good minister here while you've been away, the Reverend Steve. He hasn't been a patch on yourself. But thank you again. I will say that Graham and his wife, we're going out for a meal very, very shortly at one of our local restaurants to say thank you. Again, Graham, thank you for the year. Apologies, please, from councillors not able to attend. First of all, from Councillor Patel.
Mr. Chairman, the three apologies, Councillor Rebecca Breeze, Adam Brown and Christensen James.
Thank you. And Councillor McGee, I gather, is ill, so Councillor Scrimshaw.
Apologies from Councillor McGee. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. And Councillor Stamborough.
All present, thanks, Chair.
Thank you very much. Any apologies from independents?
All present and correct. Very correct.
Thank you very much. Notifications of persons wishing to speak, none have been received. Declarations of interest by councillors. I'm sure you all realise the importance of declaring such interests. If you have them during the meeting and you don't declare them now, please do so at the time, as it's quite important, as you realise. Right. Outgoing chairman's announcements. That must be me. Right. First of all, I'd like to say to you all, it's been an honour, a privilege, and a pleasure to be your chairman for the last year. I've got a few people to thank. Definitely Karen and Roger. Now, Karen's not here today. She's, as we say in the trade, doing a royal visit. Can't tell you who, can't tell you where. because I don't know. But Roger is here. Anybody that's been chairman or who will be chairman will realise the significance of Karen, a brilliant PA, and also Roger, who's just walked into the room with an extension mains lead. Thanks very much to both of those. No hidden bunch of flowers from behind chairs. I'm taking them both out for a meal next week. There are 3 other people that have helped considerably. One very much so, which is the lady next to me, Susan Zeus. A lot of people thought, what's she doing, handing you notes and doing all this sort of thing? Well, as many of you know, I'm totally deaf in my left side. I cannot hear a thing she says, so we send post-it notes to each other. She's been absolutely brilliant. She's the most helpful person up on this top table, I can assure you. Again, thank you very much. Sorry, Chief Exec, but I don't have a lot to do with the Chief Exec. Another person is Paul below me, and also Jenny. Paul, I used to think, when I sat in the back row, oh, he just sits there and takes a few notes and does a bit of pointing and occasionally takes the odd picture, but he's a lot more than that. He knows his job, he knows the system inside out. And again, Jenny, very good at what she does. She looks like she's lip reading, but she assures me she's not. But thanks to them all. Right, the charity, the Northamptonshire Domestic Abuse, I'm afraid I raised money, but it wasn't as much as one would have expected. It wasn't a good year to raise money. I don't know whether it was me, the fact that it's harder to get to raise money, or the fact that it was Northamptonshire County Council. But I've raised just over £2,000. Don't know the final sum yet, but that cheque will be going to them shortly when we've got the bank account sorted out. I'm picking out, you'll be aware that during the year I never told you about any of the events I went to. I've left that to the end of the year. I've picked out 3. Very early on in July, there was a thing called Balancing Act, and I thought this was perhaps walking along a few tight roads and things and doing a bit of trapeze, but it wasn't. It was a mixture of a group of people, mostly from India, all over India, on a very hot summer's night. It was a mixture of prayers, speeches, poetry. In fact, it was a mixture of everything. It was food, it was everything. I learned how to do an absolutely brilliant curry. It was a smashing evening, and what stood out about the evening was everybody that spoke, it doesn't matter who they were, including the holy man there, started off by saying, if I offend anybody by what I've said, or I've said anything wrong, I apologise now. And I thought that'd go down well at council if we all did that. But everybody did that. What a wonderful group of people, and it stood out. Another event I went to, which was an autumn lecture. It was about Chester Farm. It took place in St Andrew's Hospital. I knew nothing about Chester Farm. I went there again on a lovely Saturday afternoon, was given a spot up the front, and the presenter of the lecture came up to me and said, "What do you know about Chester Farm?" So I told them nothing. I said I know nothing about Chester Farm, which I didn't. And I've come here to learn. And it was a fantastic lecture. I've never heard a more dedicated member of the county council, and I hope the person that her boss, who is probably here at the moment, relays it to her. It was absolutely marvellous. It was a fantastic lecture on Chester Farm. I know all about it now. Another one on March the 9th, which was a Fostering and Family Awards do. I went along there along with our good friend, the Children's Cabinet member here, which she presented the prizes, and I, as well as her, and we had pictures all together at the end. It was organised by a chap called Andy Logie. It was organised very, very well. I'd never been to one of these events before, and I have to say, it was fantastic. What a lovely group of people. Karen came along because she offered to help. Well, I don't think Andy Logie knew Karen and myself too well, but he introduced her. He introduced us in the beginning as the chairman of the county council, and also Karen, his wife, which we smiled at. But at the end, I did say in the summing up speech that I came in with a PA and went out with a wife. But that was very good. The civic ball. We had 75 people in the end. It was very, very hard to get that sort of a number, but we did get there. One of the highlights of the civic ball, for those that weren't there, was that Cecile's husband, Charles Irving Swift, played the guitar and sung 3 songs. Now, if you've met Charles Irving Swift, he doesn't look like the kind of guy that's going to sit and play guitar and sing 3 songs, but he used to busk in the German underground, which again, he doesn't look like a busker. But I'm trying to get 10% of his management fees for future bookings. We had a very successful staff raffle. The idea was to have a raffle that only the staff could benefit from. So we obtained lots of prizes under the chairman's name from different organisations around the county, and staff only won the prizes, and there was a considerable number. That was successful. That raised money for the charity. I have to say it was a brilliant year with the chain gang, and I have to single out, a lot of people helped me. I don't get around too well, and it's getting worse, I'm afraid. And a lot of people helped me during the year. A lot of individuals, I mean, Jason was one of them. But I have to say a big thank you to Wendy's Brackenbury's husband, David, who I walked around with him arm in arm to an awful lot of places where there was walking involved. I have to say thank you very much to David Brackenbury for the help that he gave me. And then I'm nearly finished. There's good things. I've tried to be non-political during the year. I'm a fairly right-wing conservative. But I've tried not to be a conservative